Hey everybody, Tony D and Little Joan here with, I guess you'd call this a hot take on the fallout from Ted Wheeler, the Chaz, and Antifa. It all continues. It keeps continuing. Um, First off, Trump called out Wheeler, and now the Dems own joining the rioters. They pretty much did before, but now they have an actual Democratic politician who's on record and on video joining the riots. And they are riots. You can keep spinning it that they're not riots, but they are. And the video is all over the internet to prove it. Good luck squashing it. It's not working. The only people who believed the whole moms thing are the people who are either pushing it, knowing it's fake, and they don't really believe it, or the people who just don't follow news. I mean, they're pushing it all over Reddit. It's, and I'm sure I'm about to be banned from, let's see, what subreddit was that? Was that, it wasn't the, I got banned from the Anarchy one the other day. So this one was like, I don't know, social justice or something like that. I mean, you see these pictures. So it was a picture of one of the moms being taken away by the feds. Yeah, when the feds they're in a federal building, they're being attacked. You're lighting the building on fire and throwing fireworks at it and other projectiles. That's not going to burn down the building, but it's not safe. Someone could get hurt. It's their responsibility to go, get away from the building. Stop hurting the building. Stop shooting fireworks at us. Go away. And so they've said that. The rioters didn't go away. The moms want to stand there and be part of the riot. Well, they're going to be arrested. Yes. And they have been. People keep breaching they built like a fence, like a little ways away from the building. They keep breaching it. And every once in a while they catch a couple of them trying to run back out. I mean, I don't know what you people expect exactly. It turns out the Chazastanis are still around over in Seattle. The courthouse is in Portland. And they ran amok the other night. Smash things, burn things, just another night in Seattle. I'm not exactly sure why or what the point of it was. I mean, at this point, you don't have the Chaz anymore. And Jenny Durkan, the mayor of Seattle, put out a tweet that said something like, could we please have a peaceful protest tonight? Like, Jenny, and I said in my tweet, maybe you should kneel again and then they'll listen. You've already capitulated to these morons. These woke tards won't stop until you show them that you mean business. Now you have to. Like before, you could have just sent the cops out. The cops would have arrested a couple of knuckleheads and the rest of the crowd would have went, well, I don't really want to get arrested. Mom will be pissed. And then they all would have went home. But you didn't do that. So now they've all been emboldened, and now you got hundreds and hundreds of woke idiots and a bunch of criminals in the midst. And they're like, oh, we got the numbers. All we got to do is show up with thousands of people and we can do whatever we want. Jenny's not going to stop us. The cops aren't going to stop us. And if they do, we'll just call them all a bunch of racist and fascist. So this is your mess. You ain't going to clean it up by asking nicely at this point. These people don't respond to that. If they did, you'd already be negotiating police reform in your city. Not that your city seemed to have even a problem with that, really. But these people don't want police reform. They want to abolish the police. They want you to resign, and they want to take over. So they can run things because they're obsessed with power, and they're idiots, and they'll burn the city to the ground in the process. That's exactly what's going to happen to Minneapolis. You've got a bunch of woke idiots trying to run the place. The cops are fleeing. They're all quitting or retiring if they've got enough years. And you're just going to be left with the most inexperienced cops. Probably have a bunch more incidents before it's all over, and yeah, nobody's going to want to protect your city. You're going to have to up the pay to an insane degree just to keep people, and they're not going to do anything. They'll be on the payroll, but they're not actually going to do their job. So if you live in Minneapolis or Seattle or Portland or any of these big cities with woke idiots for mayors, you really got to consider leaving because these people didn't show any kind of strength. Wheeler did take out the Chaz, but he waited until it was in front of his condo. Jenny Durkan didn't do anything until they protested at her house twice. And now, they're protesting at the houses of all the city council members. Oh, that's a bridge too far. Is it? Is it? You have constituents who have had bricks thrown through their windows and have been intimidated by these mobs of riotous thugs. And now you're upset because, my garden out front got stomped on by the peaceful protesters. This isn't right. I didn't want this. It's time to shut it down, Jenny. If you want to have any chance of ever being elected to anything, step on the gas. Send the cops out to crush these knuckleheads once and for all. Invite everybody Trump wants to send in your city. Hand it all over, because that's the only shot you have at this point. Your only shot is that Trump and his goons do such a great job restoring the city to law and order that everybody forgets about Antifa in a couple of months. And with all these news cycles and the way 2020's running, you got a shot at that. You really do. And by 2020, maybe people will just forget, and you'll have everything built up by then. You could ask some businesses to come back and fix the place, and you could prove to them, no, this is over. We're done with these morons. We don't tolerate it anymore. You could institute a zero tolerance policy on rioting. Not protest, rioting. Protests are peaceful. Rioting is damaging to the city, hurts people, kills people. You've had people die in your city. You have blood on your hands, Jenny. Get your act together. Wheeler, you're just a moron that you thought you could show up to their little rally and take advantage of it. God, the hubris in you. The sheer hubris of that. You deserve, just like Jenny, to be kicked out of office forever. You shouldn't be able to hold the lowest rung job in any government anywhere. And the Democrats will throw you under the bus. That's my prediction. They'll throw you under the bus. They're not going to give you an ambassadorship or any of that kind of stuff. Your sacrifice will be in vain anyway, because Biden's not going to win. And whoever the next group round the Democrats are, people like you will be out of the party permanently. Your career is done. Over. Finished. You, Jenny, the guys in Minneapolis, well, they'll still be in power for a little while as they preside over the disintegration of their city. I feel bad for the people who live there, who maybe they live in a nice neighborhood and, had a nice business or whatever, and now everything's just falling apart. But, maybe there's still a chance you can get out in time before things get really bad. Or maybe you can re-elect or elect someone different. You can oust these morons from their jobs. That's really your only shot at this point. That you elected them in the first place, that's kind of on you. Yeah, you got to pay attention to your local government, and you got to know who's in charge. My local government is pretty small. We only got 1,900 people in this town. We don't even pay the mayor. And I think we've got 3 or 4 councilmen. Town, I guess it'd be town, because we're only 1,900 or so people. And we got a police chief. We got our own police. We got a town hall, and you can go to the meetings and stuff. I've only been to one or two meetings all the time I've lived here. But, yeah, I don't have a lot to complain about, quite frankly. Things are run pretty decently. Smaller is better, in my view. So part of the issue with Seattle, Minneapolis, and Portland, they're just big places to run, and you've got too much money at stake, too much corruption, and, well, quite frankly, your democratic policies just don't work. It's time to face facts. Face the music, Democrats. It's just not working out.